in the banks. Gonna see if we can pull a fish out the clay. There's
Wow.
Here, ain't they?
Wow.
What if the biggest rumor surrounding Hannah Barron isn't actually what people think it is? For years, the internet has turned small clues, old photos, missing posts, and private moments into huge stories about the life of the woman known as the Catfish Girl. But now there is an important problem with the headline everyone wants to believe. There is no reliable evidence that Hannah Barron has publicly confirmed some secret scandal or shocking rumor. What we can confirm is far more interesting. Hannah has spent years building a life in front of millions of people while still keeping parts of that life completely private. And when private details are missing, the internet has a habit of filling the silence with its own version of the truth. So today we're separating what is actually documented from what is simply rumor, speculation, and internet storytelling. Hannah Barron was born on July 3, 1996, in Alabama, and her connection to the outdoors started long before she became an internet personality. Her father, Jeff Barron, played a major role in developing her passion for hunting, fishing, and outdoor skills. She eventually became famous for an unusual fishing technique called noodling, in which catfish are caught by hand. A profile of Hannah describes her early outdoor upbringing and identifies noodling as the activity that helped make her famous. That background matters because Hannah's story has never really been about becoming famous first and discovering an identity afterward. It was almost the opposite. The lifestyle came first. The cameras came later. She was already hunting, fishing, spending time outdoors, and learning practical skills before millions of strangers knew her name. That is one reason her rise online felt so different from the typical influencer story. The moment that changed everything came when footage of Hannah catching a large catfish with her bare hands began spreading online. A 2025 podcast episode featuring Hannah and her father Jeff describes how a video of Hannah catching a roughly 30-pound catfish accidentally went viral in 2016. The episode also focuses on their shared life, family relationship, home-building projects, hunting, and fishing. Suddenly, a woman from Alabama who had been living an ordinary outdoor life became recognizable across the internet. People who had never heard of noodling were suddenly watching videos of someone reaching into muddy water and pulling out enormous fish. Some viewers were fascinated. Others were shocked. Some questioned whether anyone should be doing it at all. But the attention kept growing. And this is where the rumor machine began. The larger someone's audience becomes, the more people begin treating their personal life as public property. A normal photograph becomes evidence of something. A deleted post becomes suspicious. A friendship becomes a relationship. A relationship becomes an engagement. A quiet period becomes a breakup. And before long, the original fact can become almost impossible to find underneath layers of speculation. Hannah's romantic life is one of the clearest examples. Publicly available biographical reporting says Hannah previously dated hunter Ryan Horton, another person involved in hunting and the outdoors. According to that reporting, the two began dating in 2016 and were later engaged in 2018, but the relationship eventually ended. The same source says the reason the relationship ended was not publicly established. That last part is important. There is a huge difference between saying a relationship ended and claiming to know why it ended. The internet often tries to fill that gap. When two public figures stop appearing together, audiences naturally ask questions. Was there a betrayal? Was there an argument? Did someone change their mind? Was a wedding canceled? Did something happen behind the scenes? Unless the people involved confirm those details themselves, those questions remain questions. That doesn't stop social media from turning them into supposed facts. And Hannah's story demonstrates why that can be dangerous. A creator can share thousands of photographs and hundreds of videos and still have an enormous amount of private life that nobody online actually knows. Social media creates the illusion of total access. Fans may feel as though they know someone because they have watched that person for years. But watching someone's content is not the same thing as knowing everything about their private life. This becomes even more important when discussing the headline that Hannah confirmed the rumors. Based on the reliable sources available, there is no solid evidence that Hannah has made a sweeping public confession confirming some secret scandal. Instead, there are documented parts of her life and a much larger collection of rumors surrounding those facts. That distinction should not make the story less interesting. In fact, it makes the story more revealing. Because Hannah Barron's biggest challenge may not be the rumor itself. It may be living in an online environment where people expect an explanation for every private decision. Her career continued moving forward even when parts of her personal life remained unexplained. She expanded beyond simple fishing clips. Her content grew to include hunting, bowfishing, outdoor projects, travel, fitness, home building, and other aspects of her lifestyle. Her official online presence has continued to center on hunting, fishing, noodling, bowfishing, and outdoor life. Her relationship with her father also remained a major part of that public story. Jeff Barron was not simply a background character. He was part of the foundation of Hannah's outdoor education and later appeared with her in content and projects. That father-daughter partnership became one of the most recognizable elements of her brand. In July 2025, Hannah and Jeff appeared together on the Bucket Talk podcast, where they discussed their life in Crenshaw County, Alabama, the viral catfish video, building homes, family, hunting, fishing, and the experience of breaking away from expectations. That interview is important because it provides something far more useful than an anonymous rumor. Hannah and Jeff discussing their own experiences directly. And there is another part of Hannah's story that shows just how quickly online narratives can change. In March 2024, Hannah became the subject of a viral controversy after an online commentator criticized her Southern accent and questioned the femininity of women like her. The video involving Hannah reportedly attracted tens of millions of views. Hannah responded publicly rather than allowing someone else to completely define her. That incident tells us something about her approach to criticism. Hannah's entire public identity has challenged stereotypes. She hunts. She fishes. She works with her hands. She spends time in mud and water. She participates in activities that some people traditionally associate more strongly with men. And yet she has never appeared interested in fitting herself into somebody else's definition of what a woman from the South should look or act like. That doesn't mean everyone has to agree with her lifestyle. It means the lifestyle belongs to her. The internet controversy also demonstrated another reality of modern fame. Outrage can spread much faster than context. A short clip can travel across millions of screens before viewers know the background. A comment can become a headline. A headline can become a narrative. And that narrative can become accepted as fact even when the original evidence was much more limited. This is exactly why the rumors surrounding Hannah need to be treated carefully. Another major controversy appeared in July 2025 when Hannah posted photographs from a bear hunt in Idaho. The images generated significant attention and criticism online. One report described the post as receiving millions of views and thousands of responses, while also noting Hannah's statement that the bear was eaten. Again, people had strong opinions. Some defended the hunt as part of a traditional outdoor lifestyle. Others criticized the decision and questioned the ethics of the hunt. Those are legitimate topics for debate. But they should not be transformed into claims about Hannah's private life that have no evidence behind them. This is one of the biggest lessons from her career. Hannah has become controversial at times because of things she actually did publicly. That is completely different from inventing private scandals around her because a mystery exists. There is also another reason the rumors are true headline can be misleading. Hannah was 30 years old in 2026, but age itself does not mean a person has reached some deadline by which every relationship, marriage plan, family decision, or personal choice must be explained. People change. Relationships change. Careers change. Priorities change. And public figures are still allowed to have boundaries. The internet often treats privacy as suspicious. If a celebrity doesn't talk about a relationship, people assume something is wrong. If a celebrity doesn't announce a breakup, people create an explanation. If someone disappears from a photograph, people start investigating. If someone appears with a new friend, people immediately begin predicting marriage. But sometimes there is no dramatic explanation. Sometimes people simply move on. Sometimes a relationship ends because two people are no longer right for each other. Sometimes someone chooses not to discuss it. And sometimes the audience simply never gets the answer. That may be exactly what happened with some of the older rumors surrounding Hannah. There have also been online claims about other men appearing in Hannah's social circle, but the existence of speculation is not proof of a relationship. One low-quality article from 2024, for example, made dramatic claims about Hannah's romantic life, but sensational websites are not enough to establish a private relationship as fact. That is why this story should not repeat those claims as confirmed information. The same principle applies to marriage rumors. There have been online stories claiming that Hannah secretly married or made a surprise wedding announcement. But those claims conflict with more reliable biographical reporting, which stated that she was not married as of 2024 and identified her previous engagement to Hunter Ryan Horton. So what exactly has Hannah confirmed? She has confirmed the life she actually shows. She has confirmed her passion for the outdoors. She has confirmed her connection with her father. She has confirmed that hunting and fishing are not just content categories for her. They are part of her lifestyle. She has confirmed that she is comfortable working, building, fishing, hunting, traveling, and doing things that don't fit the traditional influencer stereotype. And she has repeatedly shown that she is willing to respond when someone publicly attacks the identity she has built. But that is very different from confirming every rumor the internet has created. The most important thing viewers should understand is that absence of evidence is not evidence of a hidden scandal. If someone does not post a relationship update, that doesn't prove a breakup. If someone stops appearing in videos, that doesn't prove a secret feud. If a celebrity doesn't answer a rumor, that doesn't prove the rumor is true. And if a headline says "finally confirms," viewers should immediately ask one simple question. Where is the actual confirmation? Was it an interview? A verified social media post? A direct quote? A statement from the person involved? Or is the headline simply turning speculation into certainty? That question can completely change the way you consume celebrity content. Hannah's story is particularly useful because her career was built around authenticity. Her original viral appeal came from something that looked real because it was real. She wasn't pretending to be an outdoor personality for a television role. She was doing something she already loved. The 2025 podcast conversation with Hannah and Jeff reinforces that history. They discussed how the viral moment grew out of their real outdoor lifestyle rather than a carefully constructed celebrity campaign. That authenticity is probably one reason her audience has stayed interested for so long. But authenticity does not mean total transparency. Someone can be authentic and private at the same time. That may be the biggest misconception surrounding Hannah Barron. Millions of people know what she likes to hunt. Millions have seen her fish. Millions have watched her work with her father. Millions have followed her adventures. But that does not mean millions have the right to know everything about her relationships or private decisions. There is another interesting part of her story that deserves attention: the way she has turned an unusual skill into a long-term career. Most viral videos disappear within weeks. A funny clip becomes yesterday's news. A shocking moment gets replaced by the next shocking moment. But Hannah turned a viral catfish video into a broader outdoor brand. She developed a recognizable personality. She built long-form video content. She created merchandise and business opportunities. She continued appearing at outdoor events. She expanded her content beyond noodling. And she maintained a recognizable identity even as the internet changed around her. That is not easy. Going viral is luck. Staying relevant is work. And staying relevant while refusing to completely surrender your private life is even harder. Hannah's story also shows how female outdoor creators can challenge expectations. Her audience isn't limited to people who already hunt or fish. Many viewers discovered outdoor activities through creators who made those activities approachable and entertaining. That broader reach is part of what made the criticism against her so interesting. Some people wanted to tell her that she was not feminine enough. Others celebrated exactly the qualities those critics attacked. The result was a reminder that online identity cannot always be controlled by the person making the criticism. Sometimes an attack creates an even bigger audience. And Hannah has experienced that cycle more than once. But there is a darker side to the same system. When controversy drives attention, creators can become trapped in a cycle where every personal event is treated as potential content. That is why responsible viewers should be careful. There is nothing wrong with discussing publicly documented events. There is nothing wrong with analyzing a public statement. There is nothing wrong with asking questions. The problem begins when a question is presented as an answer. That is exactly where this Hannah Barron story needs to draw the line. So, if you came into this video expecting a shocking secret confession, the verified answer is actually more complicated. There is no reliable evidence that Hannah Barron has confirmed a hidden scandal simply because rumors have circulated online. What we do have is a fascinating documented journey. A young girl from Alabama developed a passion for the outdoors. Her father helped teach her skills that eventually became central to her identity. A video of her noodling a large catfish unexpectedly exploded online. She became known as Catfish Girl. Her audience grew. Her personal life became increasingly scrutinized. A public relationship and engagement eventually ended, while the exact reason remained private. She continued building her career. She faced viral criticism. She responded to public attacks. She continued hunting, fishing, traveling, working, and creating. And through all of it, she maintained control over some parts of her personal life. Maybe that's the real story behind the rumors. Not that Hannah finally revealed some terrible secret, but that the internet has been demanding answers that she may never have promised to give. And honestly, that may be a good thing. Because public figures are not fictional characters. Their lives do not have to follow a storyline designed for entertainment. They don't owe the internet a dramatic breakup explanation. They don't owe strangers a wedding announcement. They don't owe followers access to every relationship. And they certainly don't owe anyone confirmation simply because a rumor became popular. At 30, Hannah Barron's story is therefore less about a scandal and more about boundaries. She became famous because she was willing to show the world an unusual part of her life. But showing the world one part of your life does not mean surrendering every other part. The internet may continue to speculate. New rumors will probably appear. Old rumors may return every few years. A photograph will be analyzed. A caption will be interpreted. A missing person from a video will become a mystery. And another headline will probably claim that Hannah has finally confirmed everything. When that happens, remember the lesson from this story. Look for the original statement. Look for the direct evidence. Separate confirmed facts from anonymous claims. And don't confuse a viral rumor with a verified truth. Hannah Barron's life is already extraordinary without inventing anything. A woman from rural Alabama became an internationally recognized outdoor creator through a skill that most people had never even heard of. She turned muddy water, giant catfish, hunting trips, family projects, and southern outdoor culture into a massive digital career. She faced criticism without abandoning the lifestyle that made her famous. And she continued moving forward even when parts of her private life remained unanswered. So yes, there are rumors. Yes, there are unanswered questions. Yes, the internet has built countless theories around Hannah Barron. But the rumors are true is not something we should say unless Hannah herself actually confirms the specific rumor being discussed. Until then, the responsible story is much simpler. Some things are public. Some things are private. And some things are still unknown. That may not be the most sensational ending, but it is the honest one. And in a world where viral headlines can turn speculation into supposed fact within minutes, honesty matters more than ever. If you enjoyed this deeper look at Hannah Barron's journey, make sure to subscribe for more stories where we separate documented facts from internet rumors. And remember, before believing the next shocking celebrity headline, ask one question. Did the person actually say it, or did the internet simply decide they did?